What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Poems and Stones. This week it's part 2 of our deer fencing series, I guess you could call it. This week we're going to be unwinding the fence and stapling up the fence to all of the posts that we pounded in last week's video. We got our loader, we have our excavator, we have forklifts, we got chains, we got power tools, we got all kinds of stuff going on this week. So let's get to it. So in order to start our fencing project, we have to get all these rolls here. We got to get them on our yellow truck and take them out to the orchard. But we have an old mower and a disc here that we're going to have to get out of the way first in order to be able to pick those up. So after further thought, we're gonna have to do 2 forks into one because one was really putting some stress on the tape here. So we switched to two inside, and he should be good. So we just got the first one on the machine. We have about 3 more to go, and now we're gonna drive over to the other side here to where our yellow truck's at and put those on the trailer, and we'll strap them down and take them out to where we're gonna start our fencing project. So we want to get the first one nice and tight up to the headache rack. Make sure we're pretty equal on both sides. Looks like they're going to be a little bit wider than the truck. So we're here at the first orchard. We're going to unload 2 of the 4 bundles here. And there's the last one. So as I mentioned before, we saw our loader, and now this is the mini excavator that we use to unwind the fence. Now, we're missing one key part. We have an apparatus that we bolt to the bucket. I'm gonna lift the thumb up. We bolt it right to the bucket, and it acts as like a spear almost. And so what happens is, what I do is we stab the roll in the middle, and we lift it up, and that's how we unroll the fence. And as the mini drives forward, just the pressure of that will actually unwind the fence on its own, as long as nothing gets stuck together or caught. That's on its way right now with the forklift. I can hear him coming. He's coming down the road. We're gonna get that bolted up here in a second. All right, so we got that together. That was quite the debacle. So this is the spear. The rolls sit right on top of that. This helps it from getting snagged on anything. And it bolts in with just a couple nuts right through the bottom of the bucket. We drilled holes in the bucket in order to get this apparatus to work. So we're ready to start rolling fence out. So this is the setup I was talking about earlier. We have our fence roll on the spike that we installed earlier. And as you can tell, we hook it up. We'll staple it to this post here in the back. And then we'll pull it, we'll run the fence all the way down, and from the other side, we'll tension this fence, and then we'll make this very tight, and we'll go through and staple each one of these poles with we have 2 Milwaukee staple guns. I'll have to show some of that in action. These things are a lifesaver. In the past, we've just hammered every single individual one, which can be a massive pain in the butt and takes a lot of time. So here's a great example of why we use the clip. As you can see, the fence just wants to lay down flat. So we clip it. There's another spot down there. We clip it every 2nd or 3rd post, and that helps hold this fence up as we're stringing it out. These are the rolls we use, 330 feet a roll. As you can tell, there's a smaller gap here. And as you get to the top, it gets bigger. That's for larger animals up top, and the smaller ones at the bottom we try and keep out. So this is what we use to transport from the spot up the hill where we have all of the rolls sitting out here to the crew. to make sure we have rolls ready to go when we run out. If you guys have any other great experience with how to keep deer out of your orchard without having to spend a bunch of money on fencing, leave a comment down below. I'd love to know what you guys do on your farm, how to keep deer out of your brand new trees that you put in the ground. Because like we talked about before on another video, you hate to see it when the deer just destroy your trees. They'll eat everything that grows new in a year, they'll eat right off the tree, which is obviously detrimental to the growth of the tree, because it technically wouldn't even have grown that year if the deer ate everything new off of it. So we try to avoid that, and we found out that doing deer fence is one of the only ways that we can really do it. We tried hot sauce. After that, we tried rotten eggs, putting that on the trees too, and nothing does a good enough job except for the fence. So that's why we do it. So I also realized that I went on and recorded a chunk of this with the mic muted, so I'm gonna have to kind of talk you through what I did while I was actually explaining it in the video, so that might look a little funny. So what you're gonna see here is us using this red bar. And so what we do is we connect this red bar to the fence with some wedges, and that pinches the fence against that bar. Afterward, what we will do is we will hook a chain up to the bucket of the mini excavator, and we will pull that. And so when we pull, that's actually, we use the machine and that red bar to tension the fence, and we pull it. And then after that is done, we staple that corner post first, because that's what holds all the tension. And then after that, we'll take the red bar off, and then we'll walk down the line and we'll staple up all the fence to each of those posts that we put in last week. I'm gonna showcase the power of the Milwaukee stapler here. Everybody should use it for any fencing project. Oh, a little kickback in the knots. You gotta watch out for that. It could have a little bit larger clip size. Very nice product. 10 out of 10 recommend. So after we finish stapling the fence, we get our Milwaukee grinder and we cut this right off. I got to use my safety squints, so ta-da! If you guys want to know where you can get the Milwaukee grinder or the staple gun, I'm going to put a link in the description below. You can click on that. It'll take you right to the exact tools that we use on our farm here. So we're just getting our fencing project wrapped up for this year. All of our land's going to be fenced in, and hopefully we keep all them pesky deer out. If you missed last week's video about how we set up the posts and how we prep for actually stretching the fence like you saw today, you can click on this video here. And also for all the Milwaukee equipment we use, I'll have links in the description down below. Click on those if you are interested in using some of that on your fencing project. Highly recommend. All right guys, we'll see you next time, and thanks for watching.